Good morning. Welcome to Saturday mornings, early morning intuitive guidance. A little later than usual because I slept in. It's 28 whole degrees here, so it was a nice morning to snuggle in. So, I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist, here with some wisdom to start your day off well. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you're here. And today we have a deck that we haven't seen in quite some time. It is the Healing with the Angels deck. Good morning, Jerry. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Oh, and we're up to 6 people, and everybody's name isn't rolling through, so I'm glad you guys are all here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Diane, Linda, Mara. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're all here. And again, Healing with the Angels deck, which we haven't seen in a while. So let's see what our card is. And as soon as I pulled the card, I thought, oh yeah, this makes total sense to me. Balance. Balance. And for whatever reason, it feels like it's important to just look at that ball. I'm going to get it a little closer even. You can just kind of get lost in that thing, can't you? I just think that's cool. All right, so let's see what it has to tell us. Good morning, Becky. Glad you're here. So, everyone, nice deep breath in. Exhale. Good morning, Lisa. Glad you're here. Another deep breath. Exhale. Just settling into the moment, letting go of all the things that are going on around you and within you, just for the moment, being present, knowing that there's something in this message that will serve you. All right? So, our word is balance. The card meaning, has your life been lopsided lately? Be sure to balance your time between work, play, spirituality, exercise, and relationships. So I'm going to read those again and just let one of them jump at you as the one that's being most given short shrift right now. Work, play, spirituality, exercise, and relationships. Good morning, Penny. Glad you're here. So, as you just allow that area that you've picked to be present in your mind, hear the rest of these words. The angels know that you're busy with many earthly demands on your time. They want to help you with your responsibilities through the process of balance. Whenever our schedules become disproportionate, our energy drops. Lowered energy creates the illusion that there isn't enough time in the day. So a vicious cycle of time limitation ensues. Your angels ask you to add regular doses of meditation, exercise, and play to your days. They know that balancing your life between work, play, spirituality, exercise, and relationships helps you to grow and feel joy. If you feel overwhelmed by your responsibilities, or even by the thought of trying to fit all these things into the day, don't hesitate to ask God and your angels to lift your burden. Again, the goal here isn't that you figure out how. How is not your problem. How is for the divine to figure out. Why is what you want to focus on. When we have this imbalance in our life, something goes to heck, right? So either our physical health suffers, or our emotional health suffers, or our mental health suffers. We can't think our way out of a paper bag, or we're bursting into tears all the time, or we just feel yucky physically and can't do the things we want to do. Something lets go because you can't maintain that imbalance, right? So view those events. Something goes cattywampus physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. View that as a gift. View that as a gift. Because it's telling you something's out of alignment. Imagine if that gift weren't there. You could go on for much longer out of alignment, creating more harm for yourself without even realizing. Okay? Kind of like when blood pressure gets out of control. They call it the silent killer for a reason, because it doesn't necessarily give you signals, right? So here, be grateful. Oh, I got my grateful shirt on today. Yes. Be grateful that those signals are there. Even though they're not fun, they're miserable, right? But they're telling you something. And then we can respond to that. And I want to hit this one point in here again because I think it's important. Lowered energy creates the illusion that there isn't enough time in the day. So a vicious cycle of time limitation ensues. Time's an illusion anyway, right? Human beings created that. I want to go back to our reading from, was it 2 days, 3 days ago? And I've actually been using it myself, watching it once a day to get my mind wrapped around this idea that we are infinitely powerful beings. We've taken on a physical form at this point in time, and sometimes we lose sight of our infinite power, and then we begin to feel trapped in our bodies that may not work the way we want them to, trapped in our lives because we've set things up a certain way. All of that is illusion. All of that is illusion. Everything is changeable. There are miracles. So I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and we were both lamenting how different things are in our lives right now than when we met. Oh man, what was that? Probably 7 or 8 years ago. And that we each at that point had a burden that there, in our minds, there was no way we could put down. We were stuck with it, trapped with it for the rest of our lives, basically. Now, 7, 8 years hence, neither one of us has that burden remaining in our lives. And it wasn't because we figured out how to let go of those burdens. It was because we set intention way back then and worked with those intentions all the way along to release those burdens, to let it go, to hand it over. Again, I go back to, I got to grab it here because I like visuals, so I figure you guys like visuals too. The God jar. And you can see mine's pretty full right now. I probably haven't gone through it maybe in 2 months. So again, it comes to the point. So what you do with the God jar is little slips of paper. I use scrap, whatever. And the jar just happened to be something I had sitting around. You can use a box, you can, whatever. The gist is whenever something's bothering you, burdening you, messing you up, you write it on a slip of paper, put it in the God jar, and you have turned it over. Turning it over means you no longer allow yourself to worry about it because God, the universe, spirit, however you choose to conceive of that, will take care of it. Will take care of it in divine right order, with divine right timing, in the divine right way. So we can let it go. And I like laughing at us, myself included, because we like to think we have the right answer. Well, here, God, here's how I want you to do this on this date by this time in this particular way, blah, blah. Let it go. Let it go. If I look back on my burden, did it get resolved in any of the ways that I had pre-thought? No. No. It was in an unusual way. Wasn't even on the radar screen that it got resolved. Same thing can happen for you. You don't have to figure out how. You turn it over and then be present for opportunities that come your way. Don't grasp at opportunities. Divine feminine, right? We're moving from that divine masculine of do, pursue, seek out, make happen, into receiving. Okay, I've turned this over. Guide me in the direction you want me to go in terms of resolution for this. It works beautifully. One of the things I mentioned yesterday, and I'll mention it again, is we need to pay attention though, because oftentimes we pre-assume things are going to go in a certain way, and when they unfold in a different way, sometimes we don't even notice it, which is again a cool thing about putting it in the God jar, because 3 months from now, good morning Cheryl, 3 months from now when we go through our little slips of paper, Well, that's done. That's not a problem anymore. That's resolved. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this one's got to stay in. We can see just how much progress we've made. And it's not necessarily progress we can claim responsibility for having made, because it's the divine unfolding. We can be pleased with ourselves for having opened ourselves up to receive the guidance. That's cool. But oftentimes we are not the ones who are fixing the problem. I got to close my screens out here. There we go. Too bright. So balance. So on that area of your life that you've chosen, and I'm going to read through them again so you got it, for those who have joined, balance. So these areas of your life, just allow one of them to pop forward as being the one that is in need of some balance, okay? Work, play, spirituality, exercise, and relationships. For myself, I'm going to pick play because I'm really good at that work thing, but that play thing, that needs some work. So pick yours. Which one of those needs some work for you? Needs some addressing. Okay, I want you to close your eyes. Some nice deep belly breaths. Scan your body from head to toe. Where in your body do you feel that imbalance from that particular area? Where in your body do you feel that imbalance? And then I want you to breathe into that space. So it might be tension in your back. It might be stuck in your throat. It might be extremities are twitchy. Whatever it is, stomach upset. Just breathe into that area. You don't have to change anything or fix anything. You're just getting some space in there. Excuse me. And as you're breathing, loosening that up, opening it up, I want you to just imagine that you're turning it over to Spirit, to the divine, to the universal guidance, however you want to look at that. You're handing it over. You're done fretting about it. You're done storing it in your body. You're done dealing with it. You're handing it over. All right? And somewhere in your world, I'd like you to note that today, hopefully if you've got a God jar, put it in there. If you don't have a God jar, make one. Kleenex box, I don't care, whatever. Put it in there. Put the date on it. And several months from now, put a reminder in your planner, several months from now, to go back to that jar, dig that paper out, and see what's transpired with that area of your life. I won't be surprised if it's resolved. So, another nice deep breath. So, how does that feel? What do you notice in your body? Anything changed in that area, or does it still feel the same? Yep, Cheryl says God jar works. Absolutely it works. Absolutely it works. And the freedom that you feel after you get it practiced up a bit, the freedom that you feel when you hand something over and let it go is amazing. AA, NA, any of the 12-step groups, they got this shit down, man. They know how to help people create this space within. Okay, I'm handing this over. My life's out of control. I can't manage this anymore. I'm handing it over to God, or whatever you conceive of, right? So what that will help do is create more balance in your life. Create more balance. So let's say the one you picked was exercise. Does that mean you have to create an exercise routine? No. It may mean you kindly and lovingly encourage yourself to do a little more physically than you did yesterday. So rather than parking right by the door of the store you're going to, you park halfway down the parking lot and walk in. Maybe if you don't move around at all during the day, maybe you get up a couple of times and go stand outside on the porch, the deck, the whatever you got, and just be in nature a little bit. Anything counts. So one of my staff yesterday was talking about this dramatic diet she was going to do. And she had made a salad to bring to work with her and forgot it. So here she sits, and I said, okay, I can make you a salad, not a problem. So I did, and I said, well, what have you had to eat today? Well, I had a salad for lunch, now I'm having a salad, and then after 6 o'clock I can't eat anything. And I looked at her and I said, how likely do you think it is you're going to stick with this for the rest of your life? Not going to happen. When we go extreme on stuff, imbalance, we can't stick with that. We can't stick with that. So I suggested to her something much more kind and loving, which is add something in to what you're already eating. Add in a bunch of water. Drink more water during the day. If you, she's a soda drinker. I said, right now, don't change anything about the soda. Leave it in there. But precede every soda with a glass of water. Just do that much. One little step, and let's see what happens. And what is likely to happen is, by default, a soda or two will drop out of the lineup, saving her probably 300 calories a day. But again, more of a well-rounded kind of approach. When we go extreme, we can't maintain it. And I'll have people who say, well, I just want to jumpstart this thing. You can try that method. It tends not to work. It tends not to work. If you want a really great book to shift your perspective, because especially with regard to eating, food, diet, all that stuff, women in particular have been handed a bill of goods. And I think we need a perceptual shift from I'm failing to the system has set us up. So a lovely book to read is Healthy at Every Size. It's the Hayes Method, H-A-E-S, Healthy at Every Size, for that mindset piece. You may still make choices a little different than what the book talks about, but at least you're going to have the background of how we've been set up, okay? So, back to balance. You can use this process, this little bitty breathing thing that we just did, the writing the things on the slips of paper. You can use this with anything in your life that feels out of balance. Anything at all. Again, all those areas, relationships, spirituality, health, work, play, etc. Whatever comes to mind. Use this same process. Use this same process. But again, I want you to keep in mind that you are capable beyond measure, that you are gifted, talented, full of all kinds of unrealized potential that you can begin tapping right here, right now. All right? So I'd love to have some of you go back to that reading from, I think it was 2 days ago, where I ended up reading the creation story out of Infinite Possibilities. If you can listen to that creation story every day, maybe even a couple of times a day, it's probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes long, the creation story part of that. But do that. Steep yourself in it. Begin to release the girdle from your brain. You'll be amazed at how capable you are, how much more you can accomplish than you have been allowing yourself to accomplish, and how much more balance you're going to have in your life. Okay? So that's your mission for today. For those of you who are interested in what I have going on right now, we have our cacao ceremony coming up, the moon ceremony, in which Kathy McKernan and Kayleen Welsh and I each play a role in what we do. Kathy does the cacao ceremony part. Kayleen does a beautiful little astrological part to help us understand what's going on with the planets right now. And I do some energy work to help us shift gears and open to receiving these shifts that we're talking about right now. So that's happening. Empowerment Rising, our goal for this next Empowerment Rising, which is December 6th, I believe, is expansive consciousness. Again, how do we get that girdle off of our brain so we can think much bigger, right? What else do I have going on that's on there? I want to say, oh, I know, my Black Friday special. Up until midnight on Black Friday, I have my coaching sessions on special. My 3-session package and my 8-session package. So you can find all that stuff under events. So, but for today, I want you to step into your power. I want you to realize what an amazing being you are. And not just the human part of you, but that unrealized, untapped potential that we all have, that we forget we have, that reading from infinite possibilities helps us step back into, and make today just an amazing day. All right? Have a great day. See you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are.